Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Hi. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. So I DM'd you. I think right when you took Catholic down. So he might.
Let's see.
You.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Darth Dawkins fans always think they have these big gotcha moments, and they always fail. And second, who the hell really takes Darth Dawkins seriously?
Apparently Catholic.
Which is just bad.
I mean, it is bad. Yeah. Yeah. If you do, that's great. Good for you. But yeah, no. If he's like, well, you contradicted yourself. Well, actually, what I did say was,
look, Pat, I know you just gave a really in-depth answer to my question, but you didn't answer my question.
Right. That's what I heard. Dawkins
is so childish. I don't understand how anyone can take him remotely seriously.
Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. And then that's the problem, is that some people actually do. So for me, now I have to deal with his bullshit little lackeys. Yeah. So, but that's great though, because now that I know that Catholic traditionalist? Yeah, Catholic traditionalist. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and do this. There's a block, and you've earned a block, sir.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Good evening, Catholic traditionalist. What say you?
Hey, Darth. There's another room open right now. It's Ask an Atheist, and some guy, Pat, is taking questions. I just went in there.
That's Patrick Voice. That's who Enlighten calls Herman Munster.
Oh, okay. Well,
Patrick Voice is a rude and obnoxious and overbearing clown.
Yeah.
He can never get more than two people. Yeah, he can never get more than two people in his room.
Yeah, I got him to contradict himself. He said that I asked him first I asked him if he ever heard of you, and I said he said yeah, and he started going into a rant against you and stuff. And so I said, well,
no, stop. You mean to tell me there's somebody out there who doesn't like me?
But the thing is, I said, well, wait a second.
He went into a rant? What charming things did he say?
Well, he was just going on and on, saying that the precept argument is invalid, it doesn't work, and so forth. And I said, well, what is your argument against it? And I said, for example, do you not believe that there's a fundamental behind all that is? And he said, no, there's not any fundamental. I said, oh, really? Okay, so then I said, well, but then he contradicted himself. He then said reason is fundamentally behind all facts. And I said, well, then you just contradicted yourself.
Look, this is how obtuse he is. Because does he mean human reason? Because human reason doesn't keep the moon in orbiting around the Earth.
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and confront him on that, but he kicked me out. I was going to say, well, reason requires a mind. So that would be a mind is behind everything.
This is how inept he is. Okay. See, he doesn't realize how metaphysically devastating that is to say, well, I don't accept that anything is fundamental. Okay, game over, then nothing's provable. When he insists on, he's a train wreck.
G says Dawkins is pontificating.
Sorry, I'm reading. Oh, is it? Are they really? Well, I wouldn't know because I blocked Darth. So yeah, and how dare he use the last name Dawkins? When it actually comes with normal, intelligent conversation, and that is not what is happening in his room. So, how dare he use that name? Oh, I got to get back over to the chat on the side. Sorry. Well, no, Dawkins doesn't follow me anymore because I blocked him. Let's see. G Atheist said, happy to report that Darth Dawkins kicked me. That's hilarious. By the way, let me post this interview up. Hold on. Let me get my shit together here. Boop. There's the link that should be up there in a minute. It says Darth is furious after getting dressed down by Patrick. That is the link from about 5 months ago.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
I have gone into his room many times. He brought me up on stage, and he quickly mutes me, sends me back to the audience. He blocked me a number of times, And so I stopped going in there because of him never bringing me up. And the few times he did, he was nothing short of abusive. But then he realized that he only gets like 2 people at a time in his room. So he started calling me out in the title of his room in the hope of drawing some type of audience of more than 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, he's a little bonkers because he kept telling me after he kicked me from the conversation, he said, stop DMing me. Otherwise, I'm going to block you. And I was like, what is he talking about? I'm not DMing him.
Weird. Let me just look at the list here and see if I can see it on here. I'll bet you anything there's not more than a total of 3 people in his room. What was the title of his room?
Ask an Atheist.
All right, I'm looking for. I may have to do a search on Ask an Atheist to see if it's still here. Ask Atheist. No, it's not coming up. Is it still open? Can you see it?
Let me see.
Yeah, sometimes his room is open for a short period of time. I feel bad for him. It must be very lonely. He opens up a room and he can only get 1 or 2 people at the max to show up. I would go in there, but he has such a long track record of just being abusive or just, not bringing me up because he's a coward.
Yeah, then he said I was behaving like a jackass. All I did was point it out as contradiction. It was an obvious contradiction.
Well,
and,
look,
it's like,
look, I give Patrick Voss an A for chutzpah, but when it comes to critical thinking skills, he almost has a failing grade. This is the problem with certain these atheists. They memorize some of these atheist cliches, and they now think that they're a philosophical tour de force when it comes to atheism. Once they memorize all these atheist cliches and the bickering shtick, they think they're Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when they're really Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, I get that. I get that sense too. Like, for example, there was one.
Yeah, it's interesting. After I said that he can never get more than 2 people in his audience, all of a sudden, after I said that, 15 people show up. What a coincidence!
But are they speaking to him? Because when I was in there, he was the only one that was up there. The others were just listening in.
No. Yeah, he's pretty low on the totem pole when it comes to intelligence, levels of atheists.
Yeah, I put my hand up right afterwards again, and he wouldn't let me back up. So I guess he doesn't really want a real conversation.
Not. No, he wants you to be in awe that he's a Wile E. Coyote super genius because he's regurgitating atheist cliches.
Yeah, he sounded familiar though. I think he's from. I think I might have spoken to him before in Discord. Unless maybe did you speak to him before? Maybe it's on YouTube and I heard it on YouTube.
I've spoken to him a couple of times. I don't think it wound up on YouTube, but he's not very. Look, the guy doesn't even dispense atheist cliches very well. He's just. I'm trying not to be mean, but he's a train wreck as a representative of atheists.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is highly unusual. Herman Munster, Patrick Voss never has this amount of people. So I just wonder.
Why do they call him Herman Munster?
Oh, I'm just repeating what another guy. His name is Enlightened. He nicknamed Patrick Voss Herman Munster. You're familiar with Herman Munster?
Yeah, from the Munsters.
Well, Herman Munster wasn't aware of how incompetent he was.
Yeah.
You know when he would do a lot of stupid crap and he would just guffaw and laugh. So, what do you think? Should I just for kicks pop into the audience with Herman Munster and see what his reaction is?
He probably won't take you, but he probably will go into another rant against you.
Yeah. Yeah, he
got triggered when I mentioned your name. He got really triggered.
Well, there you go. I mean, come on. You're going into somebody else's home and you're mentioning the enemy. Come on, what's wrong with you? Just for kicks. We have 2 other moderators in here. I'm just going to pop in just for kicks and see what happens. Okay.
I'm gonna step in there too.
Well, I'm blocked. I'm blocked. So there's only 2 people on stage. Who's the other person on stage?
Well, I just tried getting in, and it says the room no longer exists.
Well, I thought you're probably blocked.
Oh, maybe so.
So either the room is gone or you're blocked. So let me just do another search here. Okay, search. Oh, it shows that the room's open.
Huh.
Hey, Brojo, are you there? Dr. Professor Monsignor Reverend Jobro, are you there? Dr. Professor Monsignor Tonlock.
I am here.
What's the name?
Look for the Ask an Atheist room and see if you can get in there. See if it's still active. Because it's either closed or that somebody. And by the way, Mark, let me know who's on stage because that way I'll know who's blocking me.
Yeah, so it's just Patrick Voss on the stage, and he's talking about how he blocked Darth and how he's better at bullying Darth than Darth is at bullying him.
he's still going on about you.
Herman Munster strikes again. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? He was begging me to come into his room a week or so ago. He repeatedly had rooms with my name in the title asking me to come in. So he went from not blocking me to blocking me. So he's saying he's better. Repeat that again to me. What he said. That's choice. Repeat it.
You have rental space in his head. He's not gonna be able to get you out of his head.
I don't understand. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't understand this obsession with so many of them. I don't get it. I know I'm tall, dark, and handsome, although my hair is graying. And I know I have a sexy voice, but other than that, I don't understand the obsession. And by the way, for those of you sickos out there, that was totally tongue-in-cheek. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it is a bit of an obsession because like that video they made of you with like Darth Vader going into that place spitting on that girl and that served coffee and stuff. Yeah, somebody had to put that together. It take time and effort to put that. Whoever did that, they're obviously obsessed with you.
This is Saul Alinsky tactic. It's smear. Okay?
Well, Darth, like I mentioned to you before, I mean, these people have spent over 565,000, minutes. I can't believe that they're spending this much time talking about you. Over 500,000 minutes.
I didn't know it's been that many minutes. So
He's been doing it for nearly 5 years.
Atheist. Hey, G Atheist says, Darth D-Head, why don't you join Pat's room? Well, I attempted to. I'm blocked.
Like 2 minutes and he blocked me.
Yeah. Well, it's showing up again. He's the only one on stage. Yeah, somebody go in there. Dr. Brojo, why don't you go in there, raise your hand and saying, why do you have Darth Dawkins blocked when you were begging him to come into your room a week or so ago?
maybe that's why he doesn't have very many people in his room because he's blocking everyone.
Up here, hold on. Let me invite to stage. We're having some weird technical difficulties about the speed in which things are happening. So I do apologize about that, but I'll get you up here.
Pat, how are you? Are you an atheist?
So do you have a real question?
Well, I guess the answer is yes, you are an atheist.
Well, it's Ask an Atheist, yeah. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be doing this to pull people's leg, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good answer. So why don't you believe in God?
I don't believe in a God concept because I see zero evidence for this being even a valid option. I think
You have
that
a
people.
positive reason?
Sorry?
You have a positive reason?
What do you mean a positive reason?
Well, not a reason like a lack of evidence. It's just nothing. You have a reason, like a refutation, a positive argument against the existence of God, as opposed to.
Oh, sure, very, very. Yes, I do. So the positive refutation would be that humans are pattern-seeking animals. That we are also type 1 mental error makers, meaning that our early ancestors were trying to just survive, so they had the ability to make snap decisions just to survive, meaning making a connection from one thing to the other without there necessarily being a connection. Also the track record of no evidence of any gods ever existing, because the previous gods that were posited were all now mythology, because they were ignorance based.
The negative reason.
They were ignorance based. So you wanted a refutation, and I'm giving you data points. I'm sorry that you're trying to mumble your way to your next point, but I'm just trying to let you know that, again, saying a positive reason, I gave positive data points. If you don't like that there's positive data points, I absolutely did.
It's reasoning.
It's not fallacious at all, actually. Unfortunately, giving you how humans interact with nature around them is not. What a fucking moron you are, huh? So Brojo is a great example as how not to be if you're an ignorant theist. That is how you shouldn't be, is that person. That is a great example.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
Pat's room, and asked him why he didn't believe in God. And they gave me something about the history of humans, people that are just some stupid.
That is the go-to response of people that are dumb. Okay. Oh my gosh. Herman Munster strikes again.
And then he removes me because I said, "Do you have anything that's not a non sequitur? Any fallacies you don't want to commit?" And so he removed me and said, "Brojo is a perfect example of a theist you don't want to be like."
Did you get a chance to ask why I was correct?
That's all he does. He'll talk to someone for like literally 2 seconds, and if you disagree with him even a little bit, he removes you.
And he has 15 people in the audience?
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day. I suppose it's a matter of time. If you do it every day.
This is a shocker. I mean, he never has more than 2 people in the audience.
But if you do it so many times, of course you're going to get the people eventually.
Yeah.
It's just simple math. If you do it enough times, I suppose you're going to have a good day every once in a while.
He said he's an example of why not to be an ignorant theist. Really? We had a 15-second interaction.
Yeah, the guy, the guy announced that he was either on disability or disability was going through. So, I mean, I'm not disclosing anything that's private. It's what he stated publicly. So, maybe it's a mental disability. Who knows?
If you want an example of someone who removes someone quickly, look at Patrick Voss. And I don't see these atheists whining and complaining about what he's doing. But then they want to whine when you remove people that you spend much more time with than he does.
Of course. I want the intelligent atheist to come in here.
By the way, he just blocked me.
He was channeling the spirit of Matt the Bloviator. Remember you were on and he said, "Get this piece of shit off
Yeah,
my
he said,
phone."
this piece of S. Yeah.
Yeah, get this piece of garbage off my show.
Doing a good job channeling Matt the Bloviator. That's for sure.
He's channeling Matt the Bloviator. Well, you have to say Patrick Voss, a.k.a. Herman Munster. Did you catch that, Tom Rabbit? Hope you upload that to YouTube.